Unit 6. Basic Negotiation Strategies. This unit is designed to introduce the negotiation strategies, their positive and negative sides. It will familiarize you with the importance of additional negotiation power. After acquiring knowledge from this unit, you will be able to recognize and implement different negotiation strategies. The choice of negotiation strategy depends on the motive, subject and goal to be achieved, and the negotiation strategy depends on the mode of action. There are two types of negotiation strategies, spontaneous and organized. Spontaneous negotiation consists of a series of common, everyday images which are applied when there are no technological sequences, tactics and methods. It looks sloppy and is unsuccessful most of the time. Although an everyday activity, negotiation is far from being simple. Organized negotiation calls for planning, preparation, reflection during a discussion, control, correction, and constant focus on the goal. Tudor G. 1992, points out the additional negotiating power, everything that the negotiator does in order to strengthen his position, and states 7 main sources of additional negotiating power. Having knowledge about the real negotiating situation. Not to become entirely dependent on a single partner. Not to show the importance of an agreement. Not to show dependency on the partner. Lowering the acceptable compromise point to the lowest value, when the point we consider to be the lower threshold is deliberately lowered, a greater internal reserve is gained, which increases negotiating power. Determining an additional or alternative solution. Increasing the time reserve. To achieve a successful negotiation that ensures a quality agreement, a rational use of time, energy and resources, as well as a contribution to good interpersonal relationships, the negotiator will apply the best negotiating strategy, the principled negotiation. Principled negotiation results in a quality agreement that meets the needs of both negotiating parties, it consumes time rationally and is characterized by good interpersonal relationships. Negotiator successfully accepts and planned mutual solutions and enables long-term business relationship. Hard negotiation benefits only one side. The hard negotiator must be somewhat toned down. The positive side of the hard negotiation is that the lowest set goal is protected. This negotiation usually leads to terminating the relationship. Soft negotiation retains good interpersonal as well as long-term business relationships, but most of the time delivers an agreement of the value that does not fully meet the demands of either party. The positive side of the soft negotiation works well in the known and stable situation which is part of an old business relationship or when the compromise is less important than the lasting relationship. Positional negotiation brings a one-sided solution and one-sided benefit, while limiting creativity. In the positional style of negotiation, some important negotiating steps are skipped, demands are prematurely claimed, and a position is retained. Then the arguing starts, followed by disputes, potential back down and a bad compromise. The positional negotiator defends not only his her interest but his her demands as well. The positive side is that it provides the opportunity for an extremely tactical action. Fictitious negotiation results in an agreement that is not meant to be achieved or implemented at all. The real goal of the negotiation is hidden. On the outside it does not differ from any other negotiations. The signals are, delaying the start of the meeting, unproductive action, absence of concrete compromise solutions, no suggestion is good enough, it is never the right moment, dissociation from the powers, unclear and imprecise conditions in the proposal of the written agreement. Regardless of what strategy the negotiator chooses, it is essential to check the competence of the negotiating team at the very beginning of the negotiations. The negotiation time and the agenda should be limited, the agreement should be written in short and clear sentences and the implementation of obligations should be ensured. Regardless of the choice of negotiation strategies, the following must be checked: the competences of the negotiation team, the time limitations of negotiating and the agenda. How to avoid hard negotiation. Repress excessive self-confidence of the interlocutor on time. Shock the interlocutor by announcing an extreme request, not letting him to do it first. Keep self-control and control of the interlocutor. Promptly alert the interlocutor that the hard competition is not an option. How to avoid soft negotiation. Defend one's own interests from the very beginning of negotiations. Not to accept the offer, but demand more. Not to offer compromise at the first deadlock. Not to discover the lowest goal, but demand more than needed. Maintain a professional and not a friendly relationship. How to avoid positional negotiation. Make clear immediately that only one solution would not be enough. Prohibit a quick final solution making until mutual safety is checked, as well as some other, possibly better options. Determine the time limit with the sentence, the first demand must not be presented for another half an hour. Until then, about the situation, the interests. ! Ignore a premature request. How to avoid fictitious positional negotiation. Occasionally make sure whether the interlocutor wants to make a deal and intends to implement it. Check the information. Insist on the accuracy of the work and negotiations. Offer further talks on the principles of principled negotiation.